Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about 8085 or higher kind of processors which can be designed and how to have an approach of object oriented kind of approach to the elements of 8085 or higher level process. Okay, so today we are going to talk about those kind of things. Okay, first things we have to do what is called a components class. What is a components class? The any processor or any device or any interrupt controller or any kind of other kinds of devices or interfacing bus addresses, everything comes under what is called a component classes. Component classes are like if you take any kind of machine or something like that, then you have different kinds of parts. Okay, so that is called components. Okay, so the components are the basic things which you have to design. So first thing we have designed for a 128-bit processor, we have had different kinds of components. Okay, what are the different kinds of components? My 128-bit processor has a register about 128-bit and things like that. Okay, so this is a 256-bit computer. Okay, 256 computer has got so much of like the component. Okay, now that is one of the component. Then we have what is called a register mux component. Okay, so that is another kind of component, register mux component. Then how to mux the registers. Then we have what is called a 8D component. Why 8D components are smaller level components. Okay, so first thing you have to define what are the bigger components. Then you have to define what are the smaller components which are going to go inside and plug in and those kinds. So there are different kinds of aspects to a microprocessor. One is a kind of assembly kind of things, assembling parts, those kind of things. That is a kind of aspect of a microprocessor. Then we have timers, which are different kinds of classes. There are these are called subclasses. Subclasses are some things which kind of classes which come under super class or something like that. So those are kind of, so we have a timer classes. Then we have connection classes. So totally a microprocessor. So this is the microprocessor class. Okay, and under microprocessor class we have what is called a microprocessor, and they have additional elements and other things. So those kind of things, and register mux and other things are all comes under microprocessor class. Then we have timer class. Okay, which is subset of kind of the super class. Then after that the connection class. Okay, these are all subclasses of what is a microprocessor. Then 8-bit IC. 8-bit IC is still, those things are still further down the line of subclass. So you have an 8-bit ID class, which is a kind of like config switch and things like that. Okay, so this is a configuration switch. This is a time switch, time connector. Okay, this is called a register mux for lower level register mux and higher level register mux. Okay, then jump connection classes. Okay, jump connection classes are like how to interconnect different kinds of elements. Okay, those are called the jump connection class. Connection classes are kind of basically how you make a connection. Okay, microprocessor has got different things. Okay, one is you have the TTL or kind of AND array logic and things like that. So how to make these connections to different things parts. Okay, that is called a jump connection class. Okay, then you have voltage type control class. Okay, voltage is like if you have a motherboard and you want to control all the voltage and what is the kind of switching elements you want to have, those kind of things, switches and all the other things, they come under voltage type control class. And regulator type classes. Regulator type classes is like how do you control the amount of voltage on different boards, how to control different chips on different voltages and things, how to run those kind of things, and regulator type classes. Okay, so first thing we have to, under a microprocessor you have a global class, then you have subclasses of each one of those kinds, and finally you have what is called a regulator type class. And then after that you have what is called a bus type connection classes. Bus type, there are different types of connection classes. One is a star type, ring type and things like that, and just a signal type kind of connections. But some of the things are like bus type connection classes. Okay, so under bus type connection classes you have different kinds of other classes. Address resolution class, control transfer class, status class, constructors, destructors, interrupt handling class, priority type, requests and queues, message handling class. Okay, these are the different kinds of classes that come under connection type. Connection type can be anything. Okay, what are constructors and destructors? Okay, first thing, if you want to build some kind of network connection, and then after that you want to take out all that network connection, then that is called constructors. Constructors means you give connection to different parts. Okay, that is called a constructor. So destructor means you take out all the different connections. So you want to remove all the connections, so that is called a destructor. Okay, so it has got constructor class and it has got a destructor class. Okay, after that is the bus types. Bus can be activated or not inactivated, so those kind of things. Okay, those kind of things are called constructors and destructors. Interrupt handling is like how you handle an interrupt, whether you're doing some kind of work and you have interrupt, different kinds of interrupts coming in, so you put it in a separate class. And you have priority type class. Within the interrupts you have different kinds of priority, so those kind of sequencing and other things comes as the requests and queues. Okay, requests and queues is different kinds of requests are coming in, and you have to queue them all in a different kinds of priority type. And then how to do a message handling. Message handling, once you got a queue and other things, how to handle all those interrupts or the messages and other things. So that is called a message handling class. So different kinds of classes are given here. One is address resolution, another one is control transfer, and other one is status class. So these are the basic things. And finally you have the interrupt class, and all these have constructors and destructors as part of the kind of class types. Okay, now we have protocol numbering class. What is a protocol numbering class? The 8085 has got a specific protocol in the sense like which pin has to be connected to which line, which what type of bus should be used, like a 8-bit bus or a 16-bit bus or a 32-bit bus, those kind of protocol numbering classes. So their core link types. Core link types are like what is the basic processor core type is, like whether it is 16-bit processor, 8-bit processor, 9-bit processor, or any type of processor. So the link core type classes are there. The channel distribution class, within those things you have what are called channels. Okay, if you have a 16-bit processor and you are using a 8-bit for computing and other things for address distribution, that's channel distribution classes, which gives you the amount of channels you want to use, how many channels you want to use, or how you are going to use those things. So modeling system classes, remodeling system classes are kind of like system classes. If you have a system is there and you want to remodel the whole thing, like 8085 processor to a 32-bit processor, 32-bit processor to a 64-bit processor, those are all the remodeling system classes. System itself is remodeled to a different kinds of operation conditions. Like what you have, the Intel can be run in 8-bit mode or 16-bit mode or 32-bit mode and things like that. So those are come under what is called a remodeling system classes. Instruction decoder class. Okay, this is a different kinds of, like every instructions for a specific set of protocol, for a 8085 protocol, it has got a specific set of instructions that can be done. Okay, whether it's a move type or like if the byte size is higher, then it can be a different kind of instructions. And so we have another class called instructor decoder class and things like that. Okay, instruction encoding algorithm class. So once you have 8085 protocol, you have two different things. One is a decoder, one is an encoding. So encoding does what is called a specific type of encoding, that is assigned to number of bits and things like that, and there is a special algorithms or those kind of things, the conventions basically. So though you have to come under different kinds of classes for that, like the first 3 bits are the registers, the second 3 bits are the source and destination and size of the bits and things like that. Okay, so these are instructions, decoder and encoder kind of thing. So bus accumulator type classes. Bus accumulator type classes like bus base accumulator. Accumulator is what is the base of the accumulator. Like if you have an accumulator with a 16-bit operation and you have 8-bit that can be used kind of things. So those have accumulators. And what accumulators basically a kind of like where you do all the addition, subtraction, multiplication, those kind of. So you have a different type of classes for that. Okay, why sometimes you can do 4-bit addition, sometimes 8-bit addition, some 16-bit addition. So you have to have a base accumulator type classes, and then you can use it for your environment. Okay, base transport type classes, different kinds of 8-bit transport, then 16-bit transport or 3-bit transport for control, and those kind of. So what kind of transport you want to do, type classes you can do. Subclasses are bulk mode, you have derivatives, you have regulatory. Subclasses are like within a transport you have different kinds of things, like a serial bit board or a parallel bit communicator, or kind of thing. So bulk is basically 8-bit, 16-bit, parallel transfer, those are called bulk transfers, and those kind of things are called bulk class. And then you have derivatives are like within the bulk you have subclasses, then they are called derivatives. Regulatory is like you are specifying a specific kind of protocol to be run on a particular bus. Those are called regulatory type classes. Okay, then layout. So what is a layout is basically how the board has to be laid out. Okay, or whether the processor has to be inside, whether the controller has to be outside, or things like that. Those kind of layout. Under that class, you have what is called a distribution class. How it is distributed, whether the processor is right at the beginning or end of the board or below the board, and how many surface layering you have to give. Those kind of calls distribution classes. Then you have what is called assembly classes. Assembly classes is like how do you assemble the whole entire processor, the board, everything. So those are called assembly classes. And priority type within that, because whether you want to first put the processor on the motherboard and then overlay another board or a controller board and things like that. So those are called priority type. And then you have equalizers. Equalizers are kind of whether you want to have the same kind of priority for certain things. Like for chips and all, you have the same kind of priority. For board, motherboard and other things, all kinds of other kinds of boards, you have the same equalizer type. Overlays tells you how to overlay the things. Like you want to put the chip over the motherboard, or you want to have 2 or 3 motherboards layering, and then after that you want to overlay the whole thing on the. So those kind of arcade. So they come under different kinds of classes. Okay, the overlay classes. And subsystem qualifiers is like if you want to integrate any kind of subsystems. Okay, like what you have, like some kind of external controllers and other things. So those are called subsystem quantifiers. Within a system, they have subsystems. Okay, say if you have a microprocessor will be there somewhere, and then you have the bus architecture. So those are called subsystem qualifiers. What kind of subsystems have to be there within the board or something like that. Oh, then we have state transition classes. What are state transition classes? State transition classes is something to do with time. Okay, when you have a time, it has got different kinds of state transitions. Okay, so a machine has to work in a different kind of state transition. One is called a finite state machine or an infinite state machine. Then you have random state machine. Then you have deterministic state machine and indeterminate state machine and things like that. Okay, that depends on what kind of time. So state machine usually work only on specific kind of state change, when from one state to another state, if it makes a transition. So within a particular amount of time. If it is not making a state change within a particular amount of time, then it is called a infinite state machine and other things. Okay, so state machine depends basically on time. Okay, within the time it has to change. Like if you want to make a revolution from 10 revolutions to 20 revolutions, it has to go from like accelerating acceleration or something like that. So within 10 seconds it has to accelerate from 10 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour. So those kind of acceleration, those are called machine class types. And function classes, what are function classes? Function classes are what kind of functions you are going to use within the microprocessor. Okay, there are different kinds of functions. Okay, this is called iso, poly, meta class types. Okay, those are called iso, poly, meta, and these are the 3 major classes of isomorphic classes, polymorphic classes, metamorphic classes, something like that. So if you take an 8-bit processor, 8-bit memory unit, then it is ISO to 8-bit registers. So those are called ISO kind of functional classes. And poly is maybe controllers kind of different kinds of bit size, so it is called a poly. And meta is kind of like surface layering kind of class types and other things. Subsystem interfacing class, subsystems mostly controllers come under what is called subsystem interfacing class, and different kinds of access types are there, like DMA access, direct memory access, then you have parallel memory access, then you have sequence memory access, then you have a interrupt kind of memory access, and different kinds of access types are there. So subsystem interfacing class is a huge class which you can define, and these are the basic things of a microprocessor, how to design a microprocessor, and what are the different kinds of things, classes you have to define for an 8085 or higher architecture, and how what are the different components you make, and what are the different components, how we arrange these components, how do you integrate into, encapsulate into a class type, and then how do you subdivide each one of those, and how do you make an assembly of all the different parts of the computers and things like that. So these are the kinds of, this is just an object oriented approach, okay, how to do the things, that is what is defined here. And otherwise you have to do all the things by yourself and define all the things, and then you have to do it is subclass and superclass and things like that, and finally bring all the things back, and what kind of protocols you want to integrate, and what are the timings and other things, and then finally come up to the processor, the different kinds of processor you want to do, okay. So usually Intel or AMD, they come up with different kinds of processors like RISC, CS6 and other things and all. It is basically based on number of bits it can calculate, the number of registers, and sometimes it depends on how amount of memory and all those things. So it has got the different kinds of calculation it can do and those kind of things. So and a number of instructions also are based. Some of them have reduced instructions, some have a huge instruction set. So all these versions of microprocessor, they come under different kinds of classes, and that is why we have an overall view of how to use a object oriented approach to building a microprocessor, how to design a microprocessor using an object oriented approach, and how to define each one of those objects, how to define subclasses and things like that, okay. That is all for today. So I just wanted to show you what are the things, what are the major things is within a microprocessor, and how to do an assembly of these things, how to do a class, how to classify these things. That is the basic idea of object orientation of 8085 and other kind of processors which you want to do further. Okay, that is all for today. So we have seen some of the things. That is all for today. Okay, subclasses, 8-bit IC classes, connection classes, timer classes, and signal classes, and then component classes. What are different kinds of components? Timer classes, then connection classes, then you have byte classes, jump connection classes, which are voltage type, control type, regulatory type classes. Then you have bus type connection classes, which is addresses to control transfer, status class, constructor, destructors, interrupt handling class, priority type, request and views, message handling class, 8085 protocol numbering class, core link type, link, what are the different kinds of links you make, so those kind of link classes. Then channel distribution class, remodeling system classes, so if you want to do 8-bit to 16-bit, 16-bit, those kind of things, remodeling system, instruction decoder class, I told you, decoding, encoding, and those kind of base classes. And base accumulator type, accumulator is basically for calculation. You can have a 16-bit calculation, 8-bit calculation, those kind of things. So these are all the different classes which you can have, and then you can integrate all this and then define a particular kind of processor, and including the protocol within the 8085 or other kinds of chip manufacturing and control structures. Okay, that's all for today.